Building your model can really be a drag, especially when you're eager to get them ready ASAP to play or to give life to your amazing idea that you have in your head. But you know what? I have a solution for you. Well, sort of. Here's some techniques to help you build your model faster and more efficiently. These really worked out for me, and they make the assembling and gluing thing way less frustrating. In order to go fast in the building process, you need to get organized beforehand. So get your tools out, your sprues, and most of all the instruction to build the kit. Only 3 main tools you need for this: clippers, X-Acto knife, and plastic glue. That's it. Maybe a hand drill if you're building 40k, but that's it. You don't need anything else. First off, you want to start by having a look at your sprues and the instruction, and then deciding which model are you gonna build if more than one option is at your disposal. So for example, here I have 3 choices: plasma, grenade launcher, this gun. So I have to decide which of the models I want to assemble and which weapon I want to put to every miniature. I'll go over the instruction to mark the model I want to build so I possibly don't get confused in future steps. And I get all the options that I wanted to have in my troop. With my instruction in hand, I will begin by identifying all the parts that I need to assemble my miniature. Make sure that the bits are easily recognizable before cutting them off the sprue, because once they're out, they're out. The first trick I use to cut off a bit of time from this tedious task is to cut as many parts as I can without having to turn the sprues or the clippers. Remember, you need to use the clippers always flat sides towards the piece of plastic that you want to cut. If you cut one whole bit at a time, you'll lose time turning around the clippers in many directions, and we ain't got time for that shit. Instead, try to cut as many parts of the bits in the same direction, and then, only then, turn around the sprues and do the same. This will cut your cut time in half, and you'll be able to have multiple bits pieces at once at your disposal. Be warned though, do be careful at the step prior to this one. I would suggest you to use these methods just on the bigger bits or easily recognizable bits, because if you lose, you don't know where to put it, that's a problem. Okay, don't do that. Make sure that you can actually see what part is it. Once clipped off, I will still try to be efficient and not to waste time to wait for the glue to do the thing. So glue the first parts together, and while you wait for the bond to form, clean up the other pieces. If once you're done and the prior bits aren't dried yet, start cutting off the sprue another miniature, but in the bits in different pile. I would suggest you to follow the order of the instruction to not get confused, because I get confused often, okay? I'm a confusing person. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, is that fast enough? Let's test it, shall we? I'm gonna build 2 models, similar parts. The first one would be following the instruction, the second one will be using my method, even though I have to be honest and say that my method works with multiple miniatures, but who cares? I'm gonna test it anyway, okay? Let's see, okay, shall we? I have to be honest and say, at the beginning, I think I picked the wrong model to start this testing, because I picked a very convoluted and complicated models with so many parts. And it took me actually something like 18 minutes, which really surprised me. I never timed how much did it actually take me to build a model. But anyway, I chose 2 models that were similar in the parts that they have, so regular Imperial Guard, so that the task that I was doing would be more accurate, you know, that thing that we look for in scientific tests, because that's what I'm doing, yeah. I always knew that building was pretty annoying, and it took a lot of time off the hobby to, you know, just get them ready. But timing it, I really was like, wow, surprised by the amount of time that took me, even with the tips and tricks that I came up with. And you will see in the next step that it actually took me way less with this method, but still it's quite a lot. It took me 8 minutes to get this test model done, and that's a lot. That's a lot. I was surprised. Maybe if you're building something like Space Marines or something less complicated than Imperial Guard with all these pieces and they're kind of small and hard to clean and bada yada bada ba, maybe in that case would be slightly different, but in this case, it took me 8 minutes for one single model. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. That's fucking whole load of time. For the second test model, I'm just gonna use the regular method, you know, just clipping one part at a time and cleaning one part at a time and gluing one part at a time, and see if there's any difference into my method and you know, following the instruction method. And you know, like I said, I kind of spoiled it, but there is a difference. And even though I am not really glad to know that it takes me so long to build a model, I'm also glad to see that with the method I'm using, I am able to save 3 whole minutes. Which you might say, "Hey Alice, that's not much time at all." Well, and I say to you, it is. Because, you know, if you're building more and more models, those 3 minutes are gonna add up. So it's gonna be 6 minutes, then 9 minutes, and then 12 minutes. And then let's just not get into the math of it because I'm not really good at it. But the point is that you're gonna save time. 3 minutes might not seem a lot, but in the bigger picture, it is. So I'm happy to sell you this tip and tricks as saving you time. You're welcome. Let's be honest, the truth is that even if you save a little bit of time with these methods I'm explaining today for you guys, it's gonna take time. So my other unrequited advice of the day is to try to enjoy it. In this hobby, like many others, we're bound to find parts we don't actually like or we don't fully like, but maybe that's okay. Try to transform how you see the step prior to the thing that you enjoy the most. See them as a preparation to appreciate, because without it, you wouldn't be doing the next step, which is what you like, what you love. Put something in the background, a video, movie, TV series, some music, and try to flow into the building phase while trying to relax and take pleasure into seeing plastic sprues transforming into something beautiful. If you like me, you wondered many times if you should build your model in subassembly, here's the video for you, and see you there.